This interesting facade hides one of Cromer's most unusual little businesses. Poppyland Brewery, set up and run by Martin Warren. Here you can find a range of highly specialised ales. As a historian and geologist, many of Martin's beers celebrate local places or historical events, and there's a story behind each bottle.
Fruity,
yes.
sour.
And I have to have a tragic empress, simply for the name.
Yeah. The Empress Elizabeth of Austria came to Cromer. She was paranoid about her health, her beauty, her figure, and about her life, because in the 19th century there were anarchists around who would take a soft target like an empress. So she took lots of precautions, including having her cow brought down onto the promenade and being milked beneath her window so she could see it, and then the milk would be passed straight up to her. No chance of being contaminated with poison.
Extraordinary story.
Yeah. There's a reason for brewing every beer. Quite a lot of the other ones have got either a journey or an ingredient or an idea that I'm celebrating.
Martin is also a keen walker, so this year he's producing a unique bottled saison for Cromer Walkers are welcome. The brew has been calculated using computer software.
The database of all the ingredients, you select from the database and you select the quantities that you have, and as you go it calculates the colour, the strength and all sorts of parameters, and you can adjust it in real time and see the outcome. Takes all the sweat out of the calculations and allows me to be much more creative. It's a brewing liquor, but it's heated to 72 degrees, so by the time it hits the stainless steel that'll cool it down, and then when I pour the grain in that'll cool it down, and ideally I should exactly hit the temperature I want, which is about 64, to give me the character of the beer that I'm looking for. They call the malt the soul of the beer because it gives the character to the basic beer, and onto that you put your other things like hops, and even the yeast has an influence on the character and the flavour of the beer. In fact, it's probably the most underrated component. Once I've finished stirring it, mashing it in, making sure that there are no air bubbles in there, all we have to do is to wait. Because the enzymes are very fussy about what the temperature is. This is why I go to such lengths to measure the amount of grain, the temperature of the water, the amount of the water, so that if the calculations are right, I should end up at exactly the temperature I'm looking for. That's really sweet, because it won't be that sweet when it's beer, because the sugar's going to be converted into alcohol. I'll completely empty that and transfer the wort into there to boil it, and then I can start introducing hops to boil those for an hour and a bit. You see the varieties buggle, and I grew these in my garden, and then some late hopping and some herbs before the end. At that point I can then introduce the yeast, which is going to be a French saison yeast. A saison, it means season, and it was made traditionally in northern France and Belgium by farmers in the winter to give to their seasonal workers in the summer months as a thirst quencher in the fields. So it was quite light, refreshing, should develop a nice fermentation in the bottle, so a nice bit of fizz, just something refreshing for walkers are welcome.
Fermentation starts immediately and the wort is soon transformed into beer, then stored in kegs for a couple of weeks until it's ready to taste.
So this is going to be the first tasting of Walkers Are Welcome. Well, even though it's not bottled yet, it's clear and it's got a reasonable head. Of course, it's going to be carbonated when it's in bottle. It's got a nice aroma, clean, and I can smell the hops in there. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. That would be a nice thirst quencher. That's the sort of thing you would really want to have at the end of a long walk.